Welcome to our trip to New York. This is mine and Abby's second time in the Big Apple, but as you can see we're going with my family this time for my brother's 30th birthday. So it was a bit of a nightmare checking in with loads of people, something always goes wrong. Here we are getting our customary breakfast that we always get before we take a flight.
We have landed in NYC.
Actually, JFK. New York's that way.
Here we are just waiting around after we landed. We did have to wait around the airport for a little bit for another member of the party to arrive. It seemed like she didn't have a very good flight because, as you can tell here, she doesn't look very happy.
The New York Hilton Midtown Hotel was a perfect hotel really. We booked it with the flights as a package deal on the BA website. It was ideally located 10 minutes from Times Square, about 10 minutes from Central Park, and as I said we got a great deal as we booked it through the BA website. First day there and the weather wasn't the best, but we still made the most of it and went out anyway. We had a little wander around New York. As you can see, Abby's about to do her signature pose.
We then took a walk into Times Square. We love doing this because there is always something different and unique going on. As you can see, there's a Transformer, there's a gorilla that looked like King Kong, there's Sonic. There was always something different going on every single night we went into Times Square. We then went to Hard Rock for our first dinner. We go to Hard Rock every single time we go away, if there is one. We're definitely ticking more and more off our list. Not only do we just go there for the merch, we also go here because we do just love the atmosphere and the food is always good.
Although I'm sure that all the food is good, I always get the same though, nachos to start and the ribs as the main.
Stuffed.
Huh?
Stuffed.
Yeah. Dunno. Have you seen one of those videos? You know the ones where it's like what you think it's going to be like, and you get there and it goes that weird song where it's like we my life be like we, and it's like
Yeah, my life be like you. You just watch me.
you know?
We always like to start our day with a coffee, can't really start it without it. Luckily, across the road from our hotel was a Starbucks, so what a way to start the day. Abby was obviously pleased with hers. We were now heading to get some breakfast before we went now on a boat tour. Me and Abby didn't do the boat tour the first time we came, we did the helicopter ride instead. Later in the video we'll talk about the pros and cons of both. I managed to get a healthy breakfast on the first morning. Breakfast everywhere in New York always seems to be really good. We then made our way to the boat. This is the first time we've done this. So again, it was a new experience for us on this trip this time. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't the best. It did hold out for most of it. But again, it would have been nice if it was a bit of a clearer day.
Lawyers. And it's supposed to be a vacation even for lawyers. So please keep all umbrellas closed. Thank you.
Can you stop? We did really enjoy this boat tour. I feel like Callum said there are pros and cons to both. I'd say the helicopter was really cool because obviously you got to see a bird's eye view of New York, whereas on this boat trip you had earpieces in and you got a closer look at all the landmarks and you got to hear more information about them. which was really interesting. Here we are going under Brooklyn Bridge. We went for the 2.5-hour long boat tour, but really you don't need this long. We got to see the back of New York, and personally we don't think it was that interesting.
After dinner, we then headed to Top of the Rock. This is a must in New York, really. You get the best views from this side. I mean, you can see the Empire State Building from here, and we will go up that later. But for me, personally, you get the best views from here. And I'd recommend going up later, because then you can stay until it goes to night, and then you can see New York lit up as it's supposed to be.
We then made our way to the Empire State Building, probably the most iconic building in New York. This is the second time we've gone up, and it was probably just as good as the first time.
Alright, we're coming up to the 80th floor. You're headed to the top of the Empire State Building, right here in the heart of New York City.
No, I doubt it. Got it?
We're now going right up to the top floor. We didn't actually do this the first time. I think it was to do with the fact that the weather wasn't great, because we did go in December the first time. We did have to pay extra for this, but personally we don't feel like this was really worth it, as the views weren't really any better. It was covered by glass, so your views are actually quite restricted. However, this is only our opinion. The Empire State Building should definitely still be top of your list of things to do in New York.
Okay, so the Harry Potter store in New York. A must if you're a huge Harry Potter fan. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan myself, but my sister is, so the main reason for this trip was for her. I didn't even know this store was here the first time me and Abby went to New York. Again, worth seeing though. Again, some interesting things in there. If you've seen the films, you see lots of things that you recognise. Some of the detail and some of the stuff was great. Some of the props there as well. So again, a must-see if you're a huge Harry Potter fan, or if you're just into it a little bit, then again, it's worth maybe walking down there, or if you're passing by, stopping in and having a look. Another reason you may want to visit the store is for the butterbeer. To the side of the shop, there's a butterbeer bar. Again, it's quite expensive. It's about $12 per butterbeer. I thought I'd try it. I'm not a huge fan on it usually, and shock, I didn't like it again. After looking around the Harry Potter store, we then split up. Some of us went to a traditional American diner for some lunch.
And the rest of us went for breakfast at Tiffany's. So me and Callum's sister did this, and we are so glad we got to experience this. It was a bit pricey. It was $59, and you did get a 2-tier platter of pastries, a range of teas, eggs and caviar, and some fruit and yogurt. We did also get some champagne, but that was extra. If you have seen the film Breakfast at Tiffany's with Audrey Hepburn, you would love this experience. Hershey store.
Give it a little view of the old milkshakes you can get.
It's blue. And look at all these milkshakes. In heaven.
Have you got Twizzlers?
Oh my god! I love Twizzlers.
As you may not know, I'm a health and fitness coach, and my inner health and fitness did come out here as I looked at the zero sugar sweet stand. But again, I decided I'm going to get a s'mores milkshake instead. And again, if you are in the store, getting a s'mores milkshake is 100% recommended. I don't remember the flavour I got, but I'm sure whichever flavour you pick, you won't be disappointed.
On our way to get a late night pizza.
Pizza.
Like a thumb. If you decide to go for late night pizza, definitely bring some cash. And don't make the same mistake we did, because we ended up having to walk all the way back to our hotel room to get some cash and walk all the way back again. But I must say, it was definitely worth it. 99-cent pizza for the win.
You need to take breaks, otherwise you're going to build up too much starch. Do what? Come on, Barbie. Let's go party.
Yeah, to carry on.
Starting the day off again with another coffee, this time though at a more independent coffee shop. It's a shame we didn't find this one sooner because this was much better than Starbucks, and I would definitely recommend having a look around, trying to find other coffee places nearby. We had to take my family to Stardust Diner. Me and Abby went here the first time we went and we absolutely loved it. The food is great and I would say the entertainment is even better. So this diner is a place where a lot of the up and coming Broadway stars start their careers, and you'll see in some of the footage that we have why we think entertainment is so good. As you just saw, the entertainment is as good as I said, and again the food is no different, it's just as good, and again there's loads of options for people to have.
After breakfast, we then split up. Me and Callum got into tourist mode, took our camera and had a wander around Central Park. Good old tourist.
This for me is where summer in New York really shines. So when we first went, we didn't actually get to have a look around Central Park because again it was cold, not many people were out, but as you can see the atmosphere is so different when the sun's out.
Fancy. It's like a shopping centre. Yeah.
The 9/11 Memorial is definitely a place that you should go and see when visiting New York. People come from all over the world to pay their respects all year round. Another recommendation is the 9/11 Museum. Me and Abby didn't do this the first time we went, but we did it with my family this time. And again, you get to learn so much more that you may not know about 9/11 and the tragedy itself. As night falls, Times Square does tend to get a little bit busier. That's obviously because it lights up and it does look a lot nicer at night. So again, just be prepared to get in amongst all the crowds. But again, with those crowds does come a lot of entertainment. So keep your eye out as well for some entertainment going on in Times Square. If you're looking for food quantity, then look no further than Dallas Barbecue in Times Square. I ordered the chicken wings, but it looks like I've got whole chickens on my plate.
The next day we went to Andrew's NYC Diner. This is like mine and Callum's hidden gem. We liked it so much last time we went twice and had to bring everyone else here this time.
B&H Photo was a must stop for my dad. So the main reason we went here is for my dad. I did end up buying a camera on this trip as well, but as you can see, he's really happy to be here. Having food and drinks at the red tables in Times Square was something I really wanted to do last time, but being -9 last time me and Abby went, it wasn't really an option, but definitely recommend doing it if you can. We then went for a Chick-fil-A on our last day, because Chick-fil-A is just one of the best things in America, and we don't have these in the UK, so it was a must-do before we left. It was touch and go on the last day whether we'd actually get back that day, because our flight was delayed by a whole day, but luckily it was only by a couple of hours. But again, when we got to the airport, we did have to hang around for a little bit whilst we waited for our flight to take off. Overall though, it was a top trip with the family, and again, it went quite smoothly considering there was loads of us that went.